All right, Mr. Ta, welcome. Mr. Francis, you're welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Onye. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Let's get the thought of
Okay.
Mr. Francis first. Mr. Francis, Chinwe, please.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Um, evening, fellow viewers, dear Amazonians. Um, Thanks for having me this evening to brief our people on some of the current happenings and the way forward. I want to first of all thank the Anchor team for an excellent job, and I equally want to thank our restoration forces on the ground, 21 gun salute for their braveness and all their effort to make the enemy sweat. Um, as we all heard and we've observed on the social media, lately this clown in Boya called Moja Moja has been really traumatizing our people, claiming that he is taking care of Amber Boys. But unfortunately, if you look at his victims, these are people that are just unfortunate to be in a wrong place at the wrong time, because I haven't really seen him come face to face in a shootout with the Amazonian Restoration Forces to prove that he is that strong to face them. He can go on with his drama on social media, but I just want to assure the people that drastic actions are not taken on social media. So do not be moved by what is going on. I equally want to appreciate the effort of um, the law firm that is standing up to challenge this young man to the contest, to understand that he is not above the law. But we understand that being a kangaroo environment is definitely not really going to pay much attention to that, because he is just going by the playbook of his master, and he wants to become relevant by trying to seek some attention. I'm calling on the ARFs of Fako County, all the ARFs in the Federal Capital Territory needs to be reactivated and go to work. We cannot allow this to keep going on. Moja Moja is nobody that we should be worried about. So let the ARF do the right thing and make sure this idiot is his early grave. I think there were people like Patrick Ekema who came up and did not want to listen while we were calling on him to backtrack and make sure he leaves the land ancestors. He refused, and today he had gone to join the ancestors. I believe if he can wish Moja Moja, then Moja Moja should understand that in the days ahead, he will be facing tough times. So please, let's not be worried about that. We are doing everything at the level of defense to take care of him. However, we do not need to be on social media with that. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Francis Chain. Let's get your thoughts, Mr. Ta.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Good evening. I would ask your permission to, first of all, make a comment on the issue of Kemi Ashu's Facebook page that has been cloned by fraudsters, and we know them already. Those are Larabobi paid agents. Intelligence has it that a certain guy in Germany, Nanchuk, is behind the cloning of that war, and that is what my country people does. My country people is unapologetically La Republique paid agent in the diaspora that is there to counter whatever we do, make false reports to create confusion. And this is a revelation for Amazonians to see if you can have Nanchop and Coopers now partnering with my countryman to do such a sabotage. It only tells you that where they are working, what they are working for, and where they are possibly leading us to. Everybody knows the resilience of Kemi Ashu and her page and what the page does. Is one of the only activists where you that has been consistent and that has been honest, and then she's facing such fierce attack. And like you rightfully mentioned, Star, it only shows us the importance of of um, of communication and why things are happening the way they are happening. I just received another screenshot which I just didn't have it on time, and it's just unfortunate I didn't have that screenshot on time. If I'm talking on this, if it is possible, you can maybe just do a screen capture of the two pages so that I explain to Ambazonians the difference. And I want every Amazon watching me right now to just report the clone. The clone is a page. Kemi's real account is actually not a page, it is an account. Now, what these fraudsters have done, they have created a page with the same name, Kemi Ashu, and now they put it Kemi Ashu Info. And so, what they do when she changes the pictures, they also go to change us. And then, now, okay, this one that is showing on the screen right now, this is just screw right down a little bit. Perfect. This is Kemi Ashu's real page. I want everybody watching follow. This is the real page that you can get real information. This is the real page. This particular page streaming. This is Kemi Ashu's real page. So follow it. Now the fake one, you can just put the clone and the fake page. If you go to the fake, yeah, this is the fake page. This does not belong to Kemi Ashu. This is sponsored by Cameroon, managed by Nanchop in Germany and my country people in the UK. And now their objective, go down again. Don't go up, go down, please. Thank you. If you go there, no, go down, keep going down. I want you to see the content that is on the page. If you look at the content that is on the page, they try to screen capture the same things that Kemi Ashu is doing to now information. Now they go to the real information and change it to make you to think that it's Kemi Ashu. Why? This is again is just to, you can remove the screenshot now. Thank you very much. This again is just to show that Kemi Ashu is creating impact when she reports Yaoundé shivers. Anytime she reports, Yaoundé is shaking, and they want to destroy her. They're trying to intimidate her to sit quiet. A lot of them have been trying to send attacks against her. We've had certain individuals planning to cause even havoc in our family. Amazonians, that will not happen. We should not let that happen. I'm calling on everyone watching now, every Amazonian, home and abroad. We're supposed to join forces with Kemi Ashu to fight these criminals. And the simple way for us to do it is you go to the page, report every post on the page, report it as false information, impersonation, report it to Facebook, keep reporting it, and keep telling people it is the fake page. The other, I've shown you the distinction of the two pages. One of them you have President Sarko's images, and the other one you have a certain lady we don't even know and some fake things. Report the page every day. Make sure you're reporting all the posts that come up on the page. Thank you very much. Now to react to the Moja saga and Barrister Tamfu's intervention, I want to applaud Barrister Tamfu for choosing to do what he has decided to do. But then there's a twist in it. And that's why I agree with Stando. George Stando is one of the reporters of ABC Amber TV, is also a very popular Amazonian. He reported in the home front in major cities before he came to the diaspora. And George Stando says, if Barrister Tamfu really wants to do a case, he should just go ahead. No need for media campaign. It's a laudable effort. Go ahead. So I think this can be, it is more of a political endeavor than a humanitarian endeavor. Yes, Barrister Tamfu is a human rights lawyer. And we think that the common law lawyers in the Cameroons, what they have to do at this time is not to take a petit moja that the Amazonian Restoration Forces will take care of, to take him to waste time and to gain some political points by taking him to court. Amazonian Restoration Forces will take care of him in due time. Yes, if you want to do that, we have our girls that have been raped. You have to start, first of all, by suing Cameroon to court for allowing their military to rape women. You started this war, you, the common law lawyers. The youth came out in support of you because of the things you did in 2016. They thought that the government maltreated you and beat you up. But today, the lawyers, you are defiling the very revolution that you ignited. Immediate causes of the war that we are facing today is because the lawyers were tortured, and the youth in Cameroon, in British Southern Cameroon, today Amazonia, thought that they will not sit back and watch their institutions being destroyed, their own lawyers being tortured. And where are the lawyers today? We have Barrister Mba today, is president of a flop bar association. And you, the lawyers, are supporting. You, the lawyers, are supporting Cameroon. You, the lawyers, are effectively participating in a system you claim that Cameroon was destroying. Why can't you boycott that system? You are making our case in the diaspora difficult. Why are you not boycotting it? So I think that Barrister Tamfu, people might be excited about what he's doing, but it is not enough. You can do better. We have 40,000 people are dead today because we thought that we have to tell Cameroon no. It is unfortunate for you to pretentiously tell us that you want to sue Moja Moja to court. In which of the courts? A court that Cameroon is going to pass the judgment they want? What do you hope to achieve? Do you want media popularity? That's all noise. Please, let's continue with the news.
You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Ambazonia. Stay tuned.
Right, while we continue with the news, I will look at language identity. Language is an identity of a people. Language is a vital part of human connection. Although all species have their ways of communicating, humans are the only ones that have mastered cognitive language communication. Language allows us to share our ideas, thoughts, and feelings with others. It has the power to build societies. The people of Ambazonia are identified with their English language. Therefore, the English is the bond that binds us together. Any attempt on the English language in southern Cameroon is a threat to the identity of the people. Such a threat cannot and should never be accepted. In an attempt to assimilate the people of the southern Cameroon Ambazonia, La République du Cameroon is using language as a tool. The administrative language is the colonial regime in southern Cameroon is solely French. Can people sit back to see their identity tampered with? No is the obvious answer. This is just one of the many reasons for the people of Ambazonia seeking to part ways with La République du Cameroon.
The Savannah States of Ambazonia Office of Football Federation had received in Bamenda, chief town, with administrative headquarters, has received outfits. These outfits were provided by one of the colonial institutions of La République du Cameroun, FECAFOOT. FECAFOOT is an acronym for Federation Camerounais de Football. On Sunday, July 10th, 2022, the staff of FECAFOOT Savannah States had these outfits on. The intriguing of it was the fact that the inscription on the outfits carried the inscription FECAFOOT Nord-Ouest. A dress cannot be for the people of Southern Cameroon to be worn in Southern Cameroon, and the inscriptions on them are in a foreign language. This is a calculated attempt by La Republic du Cameroon to impose a language on the people of Ambazonia.
Would definitely display that particular picture for you to see exactly what Star Smart was talking about. I mean, you can't give people a shirt to wear without them understanding what they are wearing. We'll definitely display that for you. Now, this has been a long-standing objective of the colonial regime. In 2016, lawyers and teachers staged a peaceful strike action against the imperialist attitude of the French subsystem on their different institutions. Francophone magistrates were sent to courts in southern Cameroon where common law is practiced. Teachers equally could not sit back to French teachers on teaching their children with phrases like sweep the board instead of saying wipe the board. They had a unique demand for French Cameroonians to be sticking out southern Cameroonian courts and schools. In response, the colonial regime leaders declared war on the southern Cameroonians. La Republique du Cameroon is bent on killing the identity of the Ambazonian people, and suppression is the only option for southern Cameroonians to preserve their cultural heritage.
You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Ambazonia. Stay tuned. You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Ambazonia. Stay tuned.
The importance of starting the draft in Mezam County cannot be overemphasized. Mezam County, with the headquarters being Bamenda, is without any gainsay the heartbeat of Ambazonia, especially when it comes to geopolitics. Bamenda, it is said in La Republique, is the only town that slides in the dry season, a no-nonsense town that does not entertain any trash or rubbish. From the politics of the John Ngu Fonchas, the Juas, down to the Frundis in the 1990s, Bamenda has been spitting fire to the Banana Republic. In the early 90s, when salaries of civil servants were cut in La Republique du Cameroon, even Francophones or in Yaoundé vowed that Bamenda will not accept it.
This is so true, Star, because Bamenda people know their rights and will not want anybody to trample on them. Those living with the frogs will agree with this report that the name Bamenda to them represents every English-speaking Cameroonian. In Yaoundé, when you tell a frog that you are from Kumba, he or she will exclaim, "Ah, Bamenda, you are powerful." The IG, through its most resilient strategies present circle, thought it's very wise to start the draft from this powerful end, and we give God the glory. Mezam County covers an area of 1,745 kilometers squared, and as of 2005, it had a total population of 524,127 Bamenders. Also, they are known as Abakwa and Mankon Town in the city of the Midlands, with a population of about 500,000 people.
Wow. Mezam County has the following local government areas: Bafut, Bali, Bamenda 1, Bamenda 2, Bamenda 3. Just in case you didn't know, there were 3 Bamendas. Santa, Tuba, and museums. Well, museums, Mankan Museum's art, heritage, and culture from the Mankan Kingdom. The Mankan Museum presents cultural and artistic production of the Kingdom of Mankan. The Mankan Museum reserves equally harbors considerable amazing arts and craft objects that are occasionally exhibited.
The area is endowed with museums. Prominent among them are the Bafut Palace and the Savannah Botanic Garden Museums. The Bafut Palace Museum is compartmentalized and includes peculiar sections such as the Queen's Mother's Room, the German Bafut War Room, Slave Trade Room, Royal Animals, ancient musicians, and traditional dance instruments. The Bafut Mankan and Bali palaces are UNESCO heritages. We still have Mr. Tara and Mr.
SOS
Francis
Chain.
Chi here. Would want them to add their thought. Of course, draft is coming, really coming, and we all have to be very prepared. All right, so. There already. All right. Yeah, we should be excited. I mean, I would really love to see smiles on our faces. Draft is something we all should be excited about because just like we usually say and we usually mention on our reports, we all should draft until we drop. Yes, so we should be excited about drafting. Let's start with you, Mr. Chin. Let's start with you. Why do you think that the interim government started with the Mazam County? Do you think that it's a very strategic one, knowing that they have a huge population and they have a whole lot of great things attributed to that county? Or you just think that it's for the sake of, what should we call it right now? But what do you think?
Thank you for that question. It should be very, very clear that we know of Bamenda is our liberty struggle. We know how hot it comes to talking about this revolution and picking Bamenda to be the of our draft time was not a, but I went for it just Bamenda to get to the proper structure or the right nomenclature for that structure, which is Mezam County. Thank you, Star. I did hear you name the LGS of Mezam County. And I want to make it very, very clear that there was a slight modification because some of those names are the names that the colonial master refers to us as. We are not a number. There's no Bamenda 1, Bamenda 2, Bamenda 3. Did not that occupied their land since the 17th century. So we have Mankom Bachongwa, we have Nkwenza, and we have Bamendankwe. These were the former Bamenda 1, 2, and 3. If we can, we equally have the Bali LGA, we equally have the Santa LGA, we have the Bafut LGA, and we have a LGA. So Mezam County has 7 LGAs. And these are vibrant LGAs that are mobilizing and inviting all Ambazonians to show up on Saturday and draft.
Yes, sorry. We want to cut in there briefly. You know, we here
Yes.
on Undaunted, we really want to educate people as much as we are trying to inform. You corrected us on something that we want to get clearly. You
Indeed.
said there is no Bamenda 1, 2, and 3. So we'd really want you to go through the LGAs in Mezam County all over again so that not just us here, but other Ambazonians who may have known what we know can also get that clearly. Please, we just want you to go through the local government areas again for clarity purposes. Yes.
Yes, it's important. Thank you for that. Mezam County is made up of 7 LGAs. We have Mankon Bachongwa. This is typically the Mankon portion of Bamenda and the Songwas. So put together, they are called Mankon Bachongwa. Then next to that is Nkwenza, which is that portion of Bamenda that is occupied by Nkwen, and another area called Nza. So that Kwenza is merging those areas. And these are a little below the station hill, all the way towards my four, as if you are going towards Bambui. Next, we have the Bamenda LGA, which is the up station all the way towards Akum. Next is Santa LGA, which takes from Akum all the way to the borders with Republic. Then we have the Bali LGA. We have the Bafut LGA. And finally, we have the Tuba LGA. Tuba is the LGA that is harboring Bambili, Bambui, and the Babankis. Those are the
All right. Thank you so much. So you could go on with the analysis of why Mezam is very strategic for the draft. Thank you, sir.
Yes. To get back on track, I'm calling on Ambazonians to write their name in the book of history. We have been drafting for 2 years now, and it is our third annual draft. If your name is not yet in the records, please be advised that these records are secure. Even our children's children will see this. We are on all Ambazonians, most especially all Ambazonians that hail from Mezam County. You have an obligation to draft. These are not normal times. The draft is a means to show your support for our country. If your name is not in that record, shame on you. I am calling on all Ambazonians, those of goodwill, those who are challenged, those who like to be on social media and expect that things need to be done. This is the moment to draft, and draft. We want Mezam to be able to produce $500,000. Yes, we can do it. And we are calling on you, inviting everybody to join Mezam County Draft on Saturday. Let's produce what is needed for the firepower at the home front. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Francis. Please, Mr. Ta, before we get to you, before you talk about Mezam County and drafted, probably one of the reasons why people should draft is also about the language imperialism we talked about. Remember, we were trying to link the shirts people were wearing to what they speak and what they do not understand. So I think we have the pictures ready right now, so we could show that. Then you can also connect it as one of the reasons why people must come out to draft on Saturday. All right, Mr. Ta and fellow Ambazonians, this is exactly what we were talking about in our immediate past report on language imperialism. This is the picture. Imagine wearing what you do not understand. Well, Mr. Ta, over to you.
That is actually in Bamenda, the heart of Mezam County. Is written there in French, Fekafut Northwest. That is northwest in English. Now, this is colonization. That is unapologetic colonization. You come to, these are the same people. They would have been ashamed even to put there the English and French. They didn't do it. So they just lightly puts it in French. Fekafut Northwest. It's terrible. And if I can link that, why should you not? How much are we going to tell you what the draft has done before? All the naysayers, not today, have a voice because of the draft. On Wednesday, I just want to announce this very what is going to happen on Wednesday. On Wednesday, you're going to listen to the audios message we promised you since last week of the bucket mouth affirming that he brought the deal that scammed Amazonia 135,000 on Wednesday. I hope I'll have Mr. Francis Chenye and Sylvester Zama and a few others join me on Wednesday for that panel discussion. And there are lots of things that will reveal. I don't want to go on that. And just so I make you understand that the draft that is coming up on Saturday is a big one. Before this program, I called the chairman or coordinator for Mezam County. He's a very humble person, very, very hardworking person. He was at work. I think he told me he was even at the hospital doing some things, Mr. Theo F.Asce. And he promised to be with us on Undaunted tomorrow to give us updates on what is happening in Mezam County. But just to give you a hint, the people all across Mezam, the vice president, you just watched the show before now, is from Mezam County. And as I speak to you, Mezam County has already drafted a lot of thousands of dollars. Mezam County is always, Mezam County and Momu counties, they're always topping the charts when it comes to drafting. I think it was strategic for the president and his team to have chosen that Mezam should kickstart the draft. The amount drafted will boost the momentum of other counties that will be doing their draft. That is very strategic. Now coming into the war room, the strategy on the ground, the battle fought on the ground. Mezam is a border town to La République du Cameroon. So the battle that is fierce. Mezam links two great counties. You have Momo and Manya. These are wonderful counties. Mezam, like you heard in the report there that came from the home front that you just read from our reporter at the home front, he was trying to, he made a mistake and gave some of those names. I think he would have received the corrections right now. Now, you realize that Bamenda, that is the heartbeat, has always been esteemed in the entire Cameroons. All the major changes that have taken place in the Cameroon got their momentum from Bamenda. In 1992, the biggest support of the SDF party, when I'm talking about demonstration, came from Bamenda. In 2016, the biggest support of the consortium of Agbobala, even though they are betrayed Amazonians today, came from Bamenda. As we speak, the biggest momentum of the fight is coming from Bamenda. In fact, French Cameroon calls every Southern Cameroonian Lebanon. When they do that, they're doing it for two reasons. Either they want to provoke you, it's an insult, or actually identify as somebody resilient. There is a Bamenda spirit. That's a spirit that is meant for everyone to emulate. To you, my people in our town. Oh, now I'm listening for Saturday, a very special day. I was born in Bamenda, so it's a city I know very well. I understand the resilience of the Bamenda man. When a Bamenda man is to do something, they are unstoppable. Like I was born and raised in Bamenda. At the age, I was just 10 years old when military helicopters were throwing tear gas in my classroom because I studied in one of the most popular primary schools in Bamenda, that's Small Mancon. That's how Pobia was with us. At my young age, I saw bullets like never before in Bamenda. So I know what I'm talking about. So the draft on Saturday for Bamenda is my draft. My parents are not from Mezam, but if they could live there so comfortably and give birth to me there, then I think I should proudly say in July to those watching in Tamba, those watching in Bali, that's as much I know. Now I know Julian Osaka, all of the Gembas in the entire Mezam do understand this. So this is a greeting to you. The distinction there is those, the Amu, and then those from Santa speaks a little bit of Meta or something, where my mom is coming. I think I can try that by saying F.Asce and no those from Santa on the outside. So it's a draft that you want us all to be a part of. We the ambience of the draft on Saturday will be kicking off again tomorrow. We'll focus the entire show of Undaunted tomorrow with this. Thank you very much, Onye, for giving me this much time.
All right, thank you too. I love the ambience both of you are creating already. The smiles on your face shows that there will be lots of excitement and there will be a lot of success that will be recorded come Saturday. All right, the last question for you, Mr. Chinye. So what are your personal expectations? We know that you're playing a very significant role at the end of the day when it comes to the Ambazonian freedom. So what are your expectations at the end of the day, especially for Saturday?
Thank you. My expectations are just too many. The first is I'm expecting Ambazonians to come out in numbers and to go deep into their pockets and sacrifice. Let's finish this fight. We all can see that the enemy is already paralyzed, and we just need to drag them to the front. All we need are the resources to make sure our ARFs have enough, push these enemies out of tree. Secondly, another question is, I know the ARFs are watching us. They know the figures that we will be drafting. So I'm expecting them to be professional in. Let's make sure the money is put to good use so that we can have great and excellent results. If we mismanage the money, then we will change, because that will just drag us a little more longer. But if we do the right thing, we already have a winning. That is the biggest advantage Ambazonians have working with this government. We have a proven advantage with our technology. We are not collecting this draft money to go testing what we don't know. No, we are just ramping up production to make sure with more action, more work on the ground. So I'm calling on the restoration forces to continue to do their best, while I equally call on all of us in the diaspora, even the people back home. We have had multiple calls from back home for people who are willing to do something. We encourage them to liaison with their LGAs, with their counties, and see how they can chip in their own widow's mite. Make sure your name is in the records, because we don't want you to on this opportunity to show your love for Ambazonia. Thank you all. Hope to see you on Saturday with a heavy envelope that will move this revolution forward. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, SOS Francis Chinyi. In everything you said, I think I'd like to correct what you just said. You corrected of everything you said. They were so important, so many things you said. But the correction you made is quite significant, and I'd like that we just run through it again. You said there are 7 local governments in Mezam County, and they are as follows: Makon Bachongwa Local Government Area, Nkwenza Local Government Area, Bamendangwe Local Government Area, Santa Local Government Area, Bali Local Government Area, Bafut Local Government Area, Tuba Local Government Area, and Babanki Local Government Area. No Bamenda 1, 2, or 3. So these are the 7 local government areas we have in Mezam. Thank you so much. Today you've been our teacher, not just our analyst, not just our SOS for defense. Thank you so much for your time here today.
All right, and right after this break, we will bring you the editorial. Do stay with us. Let's have the editorial now.
In our editorial today, as compiled by our editor-in-chief and news director, Tapadi King, we will return to the historical timelines and we will make progress as we recount the historicity of today's Ambazonia. Before today, we had a walk through pre-1858, Ambas Bay before the arrival of the Europeans, 1858, the city of Victoria established by F.Asce, 1884, establishment of the Ambas Bay Protectorate, 1887, the Ambas Bay Protectorate ceded to Germany. 1916, Britain and France occupied German Cameroon. 1919, German Cameroon divided at the Versailles Treaty. We moved into 1922, the Cameroon became a League of Nations mandate, and fast forwarded into 1946, where we examined how the Southern Cameroons became a UN Trust territory. We moved into 1954, when the Southern Cameroons attained self-rule in Boya. We have discussed the 1959 free and fair elections held in the Southern Cameroon. We got into 1960, Southern Cameroon's leaders visited the UK and the UN. We also went into 1961 UN plebiscite vote held in the Southern Cameroon. We talked about 1961 independence to the Southern Cameroon. We examined 1961 and we went further into 1965. His Excellency Bobe Augustine Ngomjua becomes Prime Minister. We came through into 1968. Honorable Solomon Tandeng Mina became the Prime Minister, and finally into 1972, the state of the Southern Cameroons abolished. We entered 1973, Honorable Solomon Tandeng Mina made Speaker of Parliament. We also examined 1984, Biya unilaterally changed the name of the country. And finally into 1984 again, Ambazonian Restoration Council demands end to union. 2013, Dr. Mfo Ngala Mfo elected chairman of the SCNC. After the death of Chief Etun Ayamba, the SCNC elects Dr. Mfo Ngala Mfo as the new chairman of the Southern Cameroon's National Council, SCNC. A staunch Southern Cameroon's Ambazonian nationalist arrested and locked up dozens of times, the colonial regime, Dr. Mfo carried out many trips abroad on a diplomatic offensive, including trips to Geneva, London, New York, and other capitals where he advocated for the unconditional restoration of Ambazonians' independence, adopting the motto, the force of argument and not the argument of force. He was among the Nera 10 abducted with Sissoko Julius Ayuk Tabe and serving a life sentence in Cameroon's capital, Yaoundé. On October 16, 2016, Southern Cameroon's lawyers launched sit-down strike actions protesting the gradual and deliberate assault on the common law system that has defined the very concept of justice for the peoples of Ambazonia, with massive support from the people. 2016 Southern Cameroon's teachers launched strike action, and on November 21, 2016, a little over a month after, Southern Cameroon's lawyers joined the strike in protest at the concerted erosion of the Anglo-Saxon educational system unique to the people of Ambazonia. The action by the teachers to join the lawyers' strikes brought in the civil society at large and the population led by nationalist leader Comrade Mancho Bibixi in what was later dubbed the Coffin Revolution. Mancho Bibixi will be later on arrested, jailed and sentenced along with his comrades to long prison terms on trumped-up charges of secession and insurrection in a military tribunal, in violation of their fundamental rights to due process. 2016 formation of the Anglophone Civil Society Consortium. Leveraging their demands with a focus on the restoration of the defunct two-state federation, amidst other demands, the lawyers, teachers, and civil society organizations went on to form the Anglophone Civil Society Consortium, F.Asce, as an umbrella movement to represent the Ambazonian people in any future negotiations with the government of Cameroon. Pressured by the Southern Cameroon's people, who saw an avenue to push for their legitimate demands for self-determination and restoration of statehood, the consortium insisted as its minimum demands the restoration of the defunct federation of two states as existed prior to May 1972. In 2017, the consortium and the SCNC banned. On January 17, 2017, the Cameroon Civil Society Consortium, CSC, and the Southern Cameroon's National Council were outlawed and banned through a ministerial decree signed by Ministry René Sadi, the Minister of Territorial Administrations of the Republic of Cameroon. This move led to the arrest of its leaders, including the President Barrister Agbo Nkogo Bala, the Secretary General Dr. Fontem Neba, and other teachers and activists including Pen Teres Khan, Conrad C., and many others. Meanwhile, many other activists went into hiding, while others fled abroad to Nigeria and beyond. Well, that's where we end the historicity for today. And today, as always, I would like to exceptionally take you through our payment methods so that you can be a part of this winning strategy. It is simple. ABC Amber TV payment channels, Cash App, telephone, +1 240 486 8768. Hashtag $Amber ABC. Zelle, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation, telephone +1 240 486 8768. PayPal, payments at abcambertv.com. UK bank account holder, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation, sort code 231470. Account number 229908885. IBAN GB25TRWI 23147022990885. Europe account holder, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation, BIC TRWI BEB1XXX. IBAN BE42967309341854. Australian bank account holder, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation, BSB code 802985, account number 211040023. Canadian bank account holder, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation, institution number 621, account number 2001102861148, transit number 16001. New Zealand account holder, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation, account number 04202010420357. Thank you for always being part of these donations. I am Star Smart reporting for Undaunted ABC Amber News.
All right, let's go to the world of sports. FIFA President Sepp Blatter and Vice President Michel Platini have both been found not guilty following the fraud trial in Switzerland. The pair stood trial over a payment of 2 million Swiss francs made by Blatter to Platini in 2011. Both men had denied wrongdoing and said the transfer was belated payment for Platini's advisory work for FIFA. On his arrival at the court on Friday, Blatter said, and I quote, "I'm not innocent in my life, but in this case, I am innocent." Blatter, who is 86 years, and former UEFA President Platini is also 67 years, were banned from football in 2015 and indicated last November. "I won our first game," Platini said, following a case that was opened in 2015. Their 11-day trial over the 2011 payment took place at the Federal Criminal Court in Bellinzona and concluded on the 22nd of June. In his words, I quote, "I wanted to express my happiness for all my loved ones that justice has finally been done after 7 years for lies and manipulation," said Platini.
Platini continued to say, "The truth has come to light during this trial, and I deeply thank the judges of the tribunal for the independence of their decision." He said, "I kept saying it, my fight is a fight against injustice. I won a first game. In this case, there are culprits who did not appear during this trial. Let them count on me. We will meet again because I will not give up and I will go all the way in my quest for truth." Swiss businessman and sport administrator, Blatter joined FIFA in 1975, became general secretary in 1981, and then president of World Football's governing body in 1998.
Gab Ellison has more.
Latest world sports. Sepp Blatter and Michel Platini found not guilty following fraud trial. Former FIFA President Sepp Blatter and Vice President Michel Platini have both been found not guilty following their fraud trial in Switzerland. The pair stood trial over a payment of 2 million Swiss francs made by Blatter to Platini in 2011. Both men had denied wrongdoing and said the transfer was belated payment for Platini's advisory work for FIFA. On his arrival at the court on Friday, Blatter said, "I am not innocent in my life, but in this case, I am innocent." Blatter, 86, and former UEFA President Platini, 67, were banned from football in 2015 and indicted last November. "I won the first game," Platini said, following a case that was opened in 2015. Their 11-day trial over the 2011 payment took place at the Federal Criminal Court in Bellinzona and concluded on 22nd June. "I wanted to express my happiness for all my loved ones that justice has finally been done after 7 years of lies and manipulation," said Platini. "The truth has come to light during this trial, and I deeply thank the judges of the tribunal for the independence of their decision. I kept saying it, my fight is a fight against injustice. I won the first game. In this case, there are culprits who did not appear during this trial. Let them count on me. We will meet again because I will not give up and I will go all the way in my quest for truth." Swiss businessman and sports administrator Blatter joined FIFA in 1975, became general secretary in 1981, and then president of World Football's governing body in 1998. He remained in the role for 17 years. Following an investigation by FIFA's ethics committee, received a ban from football for 8 years, later reduced to 6. In 2021, he received a further 6-year ban after the ethics committee investigated bonus payments. Following the verdict, Blatter said, "I am relaxed, definitely, because during 7 years, I was always under pressure because there was a court case opened against me. Now it's finished, so I am happy. I am also happy for international football. It's justice, but it's a victory for me." In 2015, US prosecutors charged several top FIFA executives with corruption following a major inquiry by FBI. The charges came after a dramatic raid on a luxury hotel in Zurich and the arrest of 7 FIFA executives. Blatter later resigned as FIFA president, and Platini himself became embroiled in the investigation and withdrew his candidacy for the post. Tennis. Novak Djokovic beats Nick Kyrgios to win Wimbledon title. Novak Djokovic underlined his recent dominance at Wimbledon with a composed and controlled fight back against Australia's Nick Kyrgios to win a 4th consecutive men's singles title. Serbia Djokovic, 35, lost the first set after some incredible serving from Kyrgios, but ended up winning 4-6, 6-3, 6-4, 7-6, 7-3 on center court. It is Djokovic's 7th SW19 men's title, and only Roger Federer has more. Victory also moved him one behind Rafael Nadal's record, 22 men's majors. Top seed Djokovic made a slower start than his 27-year-old opponent, who initially seemed nevertheless in his first Grand Slam singles final. But the Serb did not lose belief as he showed all of his experience and news to turn the match around. "He's a bit of a god, I'm not going to lie. I thought I played well," Kyrgios said as he congratulated Djokovic. Losing his winning position began to irritate Kyrgios, who is known for his fiery temperament as well as his exciting tennis. While Kyrgios increasingly remonstrated with his support team, Djokovic remained cool in the heat of the battle on a scorching center court. After clinching victory with a stored match point, Djokovic dropped to his haunches and picked a blade of the center court grass to eat in what has now become a customary celebration. It was the first major win of the year for the Serb, who was stopped from playing in the Australian Open after being deported because of his vaccination status, and lost to Rafael Nadal in the French Open quarterfinals. Gab Ellison reporting for Undaunted, ABC Amber News.
And with that sports report, we have come to the end of Undaunted tonight. But before we go, here is a recap of our major stories.
The President of Ambazonia, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Sako, has sent condolences to the people of Japan. Today we looked at Shinzo Abe's death and the shock in Japan at the killing of former Prime Minister during election campaign. In West Africa, Nigeria, ahead of the presidential elections come 2023, Peter Obi has picked Dati Baba Ahmed as his running mate. We highlighted once again that the attack against Amber Queen Kemi Ashu is from the enemy.
Human rights lawyer Barrister Tamfu and others to check the excesses of a so-called soldier, traditional ruler Moja. This Saturday, all roads will be leading to Mayzam County draft. We looked at the importance of starting the draft in Mayzam County, and in sports, Sepp Blatter and Michael Platini were found not guilty following a fraud trial. The consequences of language imperialism and poor infrastructure networks as enhanced by the colonial administration is one of the untold stories we looked at today. And that was it for Undaunted tonight, bringing into the news Untold Stories. On behalf of my co-anchor Star Smart and the entire Undaunted crew, we say thank you for tuning in. I am Oni Opala.
We'll leave you with ABC Amber TV images. Good night and God bless you.